दुनिया के जिन भी देशों ने समृद्धि पाई है, वहां समंदर समृद्धि का एक बहुत बड़ा कारण रहा है। यहां भी धोलावीरा का उदाहरण हमारे सामने है। लोथल जैसे प्राचीन पोर्ट सिटी यहां हुआ करते थे। ये भारत की प्राचीन सभ्यता की समृद्धि के केंद्र रहे हैं। हमारा पोर्ट लेड डेवलपमेंट का विजन इसी महान विरासत से प्रेरित है।
Hello and welcome viewers. You're watching In Depth with your host Kriti Mishra. Parliament has passed a piece of legislation that could transform India's maritime logistics and global trade flows. The Bills of Lading Bill 2025. At its heart, the new legislation aims to modernize how India handles the most fundamental document in global shipping, the Bill of Lading or BOL. For centuries, this document, often printed on crisp bonded paper, has served as the holy trinity of international commerce, a receipt of goods, a contract of carriage, and most crucially, a document of title. Whoever held it physically owned the cargo. The Bills of Lading Bill legally recognizes electronic bills of lading, enabling shipping lines, freight forwarders, banks, and importers and exporters to digitally issue, endorse, and transfer bills of lading. Here's everything you need to know about this legislation. Come along. With the shipping industry evolving and the global trade landscape changing, there is a pressing need for India to adopt a more comprehensive and understandable law that aligns with international standards. The Bills of Lading Bill 2025 will rename the existing law, the Bills of Lading Act 2025, and include several key reforms. The new legislation aims to simplify the language and reorganize provisions without altering their underlying substance. It also empowers the central government to issue directions to facilitate the law's implementation, along with an inclusion of a standard repeal and saving clause, while eliminating the colonial legacy of the 1856 Act. The passing of the Bills of Lading Bill 2025 in Parliament is a significant step in fulfilling Prime Minister Modi's vision of modernizing India's legal framework, making it more relevant, modern, accessible, and free from colonial legacies that have long hindered our progress. This bill, which replaces the outdated Indian Bills of Lading Bill Act 1856, eliminates archaic provisions and aligns India's maritime laws with global standards, enabling smoother and more secure shipping practices. These changes will bring numerous benefits, including streamlined business processes, reduced litigation risks, and improved clarity for carriers, shippers, and lawful holders of goods. The updates are expected to foster a more efficient and reliable shipping environment.
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि पिछले 10 साल के अंदर जो उपलब्धि हमने हासिल की है, ये उपलब्धि इसलिए हासिल की गई है क्योंकि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने हमें जो विजन दी है, कहां जाना है, क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, सारी चीजों का जो उन्होंने हमें अनुभव जगाया है और अनुभव जगाने के लिए आधुनिक जो व्यवस्था खड़ा करने के लिए जो भी उन्होंने निर्देश दी है, उसी निर्देश को निष्ठापूर्वक पालन करते हुए पोर्ट शिपिंग वाटर्स मंत्रालय ने दिन रात अगले दिनों में हम अलग अलग वर्टिकल में दुनिया के बेहतर से बेहतर हम कैसे नतीजा ला सकते हैं, इस पर भी हमारा मंत्रालय दिन रात लगे हुए है। तो अगले दिनों में जो भी हमारा लीगल रिफॉर्म्स, ये बहुत जरूरी था, क्योंकि दिस वाज इनेक्टेड ड्यूरिंग द ब्रिटिश रिजिम. व्हाई वी शुड बी गाइडेड बाय द ब्रिटिश लॉ? वी आर इंडिपेंडेंट इंडिया. We should have our own set of law. We have our legal wisdom, legal knowledge, legal skill. Everything is available within our personality. So why should we bank on the, particularly outdated laws which was enacted by the British, their own interest? So I believe this particular repeals definitely is going to give us a fresh boost and also fresh vision, so that with our स्वाभिमान tomorrow स्वर्णिम भारत के लिए हम अपने योगदान बड़े निष्ठापूर्वक दे सकें। इसी शब्दों का साथ मैं माननीय सभापति महोदय, आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं और सभी सांसदों को मैं विशेष रूप से धन्यवाद देता हूं और मैं आग्रह करता हूं इस बिल को सभी की तरफ से पास किया जाए। धन्यवाद।
So let's simplify this bill for our viewers with simple Q&As. What is the Bills of Lading Bill? Well, a Bills of Lading is a legal document used in international shipping, acting as proof that goods have been loaded onto a vessel and specifying the terms of transport. The Bills of Lading Bill 2025 replaces the Indian Bills of Lading Act of 1856, ensuring a modern, transparent and efficient framework for shipping transactions. What are the key features of the bill? Modernization. It replaces colonial era provisions with a more structured and simplified framework. Enhanced business efficiency. Streamlines shipping documentation, reducing litigation risks and legal disputes. It establishes clear guidelines for carriers, shippers and consignees. Alignment with global standards. Adopts international best practices to boost India's role in global maritime trade. Government empowerment allows the central government to issue directions for effective implementation. Introduces a standard repeal and saving clause to maintain legal continuity. User-friendly provisions simplifies language and structure without altering the substantive principles of the original law. Boost to maritime trade. Strengthens India's position as a maritime hub, supporting ease of doing business. The implementing body is Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Government of India.
As you all know, because after going through your details, observation, species, it has been revealed the fact of happening in this particular ministry. Under the dynamic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, in the last 10 years, 11 years time, whatever success stories are being created, it is exemplary. If we make the comparison of the data, this data is not developed by our agency. It is developed by international impartial agency. So, in this particular data, this has been revealed the fact that how since 2014, this ministry's vision plan has been developed, particularly under the able guidance of Honorable Prime Minister. Sagarmala program was undertaken and more than 805 numbers of projects in consultation with all the stakeholders, that is the coastal state and union territories. 805 numbers of projects has been identified and targeted to implement it within a span of 20 years and by spending more than 5.5 lakhs crore. So in this last 10 years time, whatever vertical was set to bring freshness and energy to this ministry and its activities and approach. First of all, under Sagamala program, it was targeted to make all the port modernize. Modernization, mechanization, digitization, to develop its capacity and also for the sustainable quality operation of the ports, and to make it a world-class level of ports, particularly in terms of handling the cargo, because that is the key to this ministry. As you all know, we handle more than 90% of the EXIM cargo by volume, 70% by value. We have a huge responsibility. We being the largest transporter of the country, we have to perform it effectively within a time frame. That is why the modernization was most demanding part to get the entire operational procedure qualitative and also satisfactory to the global operators.
India is strategically located on the world's shipping routes, with a long coastline of about 7,517 kilometers, 14,500 kilometers of potentially navigable waters. Indian maritime sector contributes approximately 95% to India's trade by volume and 70% by value. There are over 200 major and minor ports. India launched the Sagarmala project to enhance portlet development. With INS Vikrant's commissioning, India joins an elite league of nations to indigenously build aircraft carrier. India plans to invest $82 billion in port projects by 2035. India is the third largest country globally in terms of ship recycling by tonnage. Maritime transport is a critical infrastructure for the social and economic development of our country and has a multiplier effect on trade and income generation, propelling economic growth. It influences the pace, structure, and pattern of development. The maritime sector in India comprises of ports, shipping, shipbuilding, ship repair, and inland water transport systems. India has a rich maritime heritage, and the earliest reference to maritime activities is contained in the Rig Veda. There is plenty of evidence derived from Indian literature, art, sculptures, painting, and archaeology to establish the existence of Indian maritime traditions. A study of countries' maritime history reveals that the Indian subcontinent exercised supremacy over the Indian Ocean from very early times up to the 19th century. Most cargo ships that sail between East Asia, America, and Europe and Africa pass through Indian territorial waters. All ports in India are situated in the 9 coastal states of Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Goa, Gujarat, West Bengal, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. 13 major ports in the country handle a lot of volume of container and cargo traffic. On the west coast, there are the ports of Mumbai, Kandla, Mangalore, JNPT, Mormugao, and Cochin. The ones on the east coast are Chennai, Tuticorin, Visakhapatnam, Paradeep, Kolkata, and Ennore. In Andaman and Nicobar Islands, there is Port Blair. Mumbai is the largest natural port in India. As India gears to become the hub of green shipbuilding by 2030, the history of ships in the subcontinent traverses time. The history of shipbuilding is a fascinating journey that spans thousands of years, reflecting the evolution of human civilization and exploration of the world's oceans. Throughout history, shipbuilding has been an essential driver of global trade, exploration, and cultural exchange. Today, shipbuilding remains a crucial industry supporting international commerce, naval defense, and maritime exploration across the globe. The shipbuilding industry in India can be broadly categorized into large ocean-going vessels catering to overseas as well as coastal trade, medium-sized specialized vessels like port crafts, fishing trawlers, offshore vessels, inland and other smaller crafts, and defense and naval crafts and coast guard vessels. At the time of independence, there were about a dozen shipyards around Kolkata and Mumbai, which rose to around 45 shipyards in the late 70s. At present, there are about 30 shipyards, out of which 8 shipyards are in the public sector and the rest in the private sector. Major shipyards and R&D facilities in the public sector include Cochin Shipyard Limited, Hooghly Dock and Port Engineers in Kolkata, Hindustan Shipyard Limited in Visakhapatnam, Mazgon Dock Limited in Mumbai, Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers in Kolkata, and Goa Shipyard Limited in Goa.
The modernization of the Bills of Lading Act will support India's growing role in global trade, making it easier for businesses to navigate shipping processes while reducing disputes. This is a crucial step towards positioning India as a global leader in maritime commerce. The transformation of this law is not just a technical update. It's a statement of our commitment to building a Viksit Bharat, a developed India, where outdated colonial structures no longer hold us back. By simplifying the language, reorganizing provisions, and empowering the government to better implement and manage this legislation, India is creating a more business-friendly environment that will reduce legal complexities and foster greater trust in our maritime trade. The passing of this bill reflects government's continued dedication to facilitating trade, reducing litigation risks, and ensuring that India remains at the forefront of global shipping. As we move forward, this law will serve as a vital tool in our efforts to grow India's role in international commerce, empowering both businesses and individuals to thrive in a rapidly evolving global market. The bill renames the outdated law, symbolizing a decisive move away from India's colonial past. It simplifies legal language, restructures complex provisions, and introduces an enabling clause empowering the central government to issue directions for effective implementation. By incorporating a standard repeal and saving clause, the legislation ensures continuity and legal validity of past actions under the old Act. These reforms aim to enhance clarity, promote ease of understanding, and enable smoother enforcement in line with contemporary trade and legal standards, enabling ease of doing business in India. The Bills of Lading Bill 2025 bill reflects our constitutional values and marks a vital step in replacing outdated colonial laws with a modern and accessible framework.
Well, viewers, that's all we had for you in this edition. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Goodbye for now from my side.
To watch more programs of Sansad TV, subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to like and share them.